Hi, I'm W.S.S.Perera. So my area is finance area, and I have developed this my expense tracker app. This is basically to manage expenses. One example is that I have selected this one. The reason is during these lockdowns and the pandemic, people are facing many difficulties managing their expenses. So when we have an app like this, we can use it to add our incomes and expenses, and we can calculate the daily expenses, and we can reduce our expenditure and manage it carefully. And then another example is, let's say we are going on a trip. So normally we don't take pens and papers, but we always carry the smartphone. So when we have an app, we can calculate the daily expenditure, and we can save it, and we can use it later and see uh, what was the cost for that trip and all. So I think this has some features like the, seeing the daily transaction limit, and also the UI is not complex and the flow is very simple. User interfaces are very attractive. I think so that's why the my expense tracker app is very unique. So here a user can sign in and sign up if they don't have an account, or they can go to forget password if they have forgotten their password. So let's create an account now. I will just show the simple flow of the app. The password is validated here, and it should be 6. So when I click on sign up, it is validated that the email address is badly formatted, and then the password is also validated. It should be at least 6 characters. And the profile picture is optional for now. You can click on the profile picture to select it from the camera roll, or you can just take a picture and upload. So I'm going to sign up now. Okay, so when I sign up, we don't need to log in again. Our account is automatically created, and so there's a simple alert. Now I have successfully logged in from that account, and so I will, when you have no transactions added, this will be the dashboard. And here you have the bottom navigation. Now I will log out and sign in again from a previously created account, so that you can see how the list of transactions look and all while we sign in. Okay, so I have already added some transactions, incomes and expenses. That's why the recent transactions are displayed there. So we have a header and a bottom navigation here. And then in the first card, you can see there is a total balance and the income and expense separately displayed. So the main function of this one is adding the expenses. So let's go to add the expense, and you can give a transaction name. Anything, I will tell class fees. You can add the amount. Okay, so from here I have given 2,500 rupees, and then I can select the expenses type, expense type as income or expense. I will select as expense, and now I can add, and it is created successfully. So now you can see the expense has been increased, and the recent transactions, the 2 recent transactions or 3 recent transactions can be displayed here. For now, I have displayed only 2 transactions. So you can see the newest transaction here, and they are separated in 2 colors, red and green. Now we have added one already. Let's go to the list and see. We can see the list of transactions here from the bottom navigation. Okay, okay. So when you see, go to the list of transactions, you can see it like this. And now we can add a limit, transaction limit. So when we exceed the limit, it should send a push notification that we have exceeded the limit. So I will just add 5,000 here. Okay, so the limit is added successfully, and we then now you can see the total balance also changed. And then we have a see more option. From that see more option, you can go see the transaction list again. Go to your profile. There's a support page and about us, and then I will go to the home page. You can use the bottom navigation also. So that's all for the main flows. And for some validations, you have to add all the fields here. And then we have the offline component. So, okay, so now you can see when I switch off the network, it says no network, and we can download the transactions to PDF file while we are offline. Now I will refresh again. So there was a connection issue when I switched off the Wi-Fi to show this one. Now that's all for the main flow. Now let's see the code. Okay, now this is the architecture that I have used. That's actually a multi-layered, three-tiered type of architecture. I have used React Native for my frontend and Firebase as my database. And so we need layers to keep things loosely coupled and loosely coupled from each other, and also to increase reusability. So I have selected the data layer, business layer, and the presentation layer, where data layer includes the services and the DB and the caching services, and the business layer consists of the domain components that are used to dispatch the actions, and then the presentation layer, which have the screens and the components. Screens are the views of the pages, and then we have components, which are the reusable blocks of components, and the custom build components. So those are my multi-layered architecture that I've used here. And then okay, I will describe the code in detail. So I will start from the screens where we have the views of the pages, and in the login screen, I have used these functions to sign in and clear input the input fields, and I have used some validations. So and before the login screen, I have used a splash screen as well. That's a custom built component. So in the components, we have all the custom built components. That is this splash screen here. This is to display the splash image. And then I have a navigation file that is to display the bottom navigation. And this is reusable in every pages, like see when seeing the list of transactions, see more pages and all. And then I have another custom component, custom list items. That is the list item that you can see here. Okay, in the dashboard, I hope you can see my mobile screen. So here you have the recent transactions filtered out. So the income expenses are filtered out here. That list item is a custom component. I have declared it here, and then I have called it in the called it from the dashboard page. And for this total balance, income and expense card also, I have used a custom list item. And this is another custom build component to display the model. I will show that model when you want to add and delete transaction. Here That's the model for the delete and update a transaction. So I will delete one and show you it is deleted, and then I can update these transactions. So it is updated successfully like that. That's the model that I have built. So these are some custom components, and then I will go back to the screens. So in the register screen, that's the create account page. Okay, so I have used two options. One is to capture the image from the camera, and the second one is to pick images from the image roll, camera roll. Okay, so you can see the code here. This is for the registration, and there's a camera pick option, pick image function to select a camera, select a picture from the camera roll. So I will show you that as well. Okay, now you can select anything from the camera roll also from there, except the camera. And then we have the dashboard again. I will go to the dashboard home screen. Here, okay, so I have used some functions to calculate the total income and the total expenses. Okay, and this is the design that I have used. I have two types of cards. I will again go back and show you. Okay, so this is the dashboard. Okay, and then for all of these styles, I have declared an external style sheet, which is in the components. That's the style.js file. Okay. And then I have assets separately stored in another layer. And then in the services, I have the Firebase API. I have also used some error boundary test cases, but that is still in progress. And then in the screens, so here in the daily limit screen, I have used a push notification. That's the push notification when we exceed the transaction limit, simply. And then so this is the place where I have used the offline option. And there are three APIs used: network provider, network consumer, and then the Android hooks. So the network provider is used to make remote server requests, and then the network consumer here for the current connectivity status changes. And then I have used hooks to check the connectivity. So when it is connected, these transactions are loaded, and if there is no when there is no connection, no network label, and the images are displayed, and then the transactions are loaded from the local storage and the cache, and then I have a download button, so I can download. I will quickly switch off the Wi-Fi and then turn it on. Then you will see the download button here. From that we can download the transaction into a PDF file. So that's my offline access. So simply here, I have used some design constraint optimizations that in the offline package, I have used cache data for network jiggering issues to stop repeating the same information. And then I have used abstract functions and components by following the solid principle in designing. In here, login. Here you can see these clear input fields. Those are some abstract functions. I haven't repeated them anywhere else. So those are the design principles that I have used. And then for the hardware integration, I have used the camera roll and the camera capture options. Okay, so here you in the profile you can see I have used the camera options and I'm requesting permission for the OS and iOS. And if the camera permission is granted, you can see if the camera is permission is granted, then the camera can be photo can be captured. If not, they say app needs permission, write permission. And then here I have given passed some console log values so that I can identify the errors easily. And then I can store these images, and also I can pick these images from the camera roll as well. So that's for my hardware part. So I think this app will be again very useful when we are managing our expenses. Actually, that's a good habit that we should have. And during these hard times, we all have to manage our expenses. So I think this is very user friendly because we can just add the expenses here, and then all the details are displayed, and the extent uh, the limit when the limit is extended, push notifications are also there. And I think the flow is very easy to use by a customer. So thank you for listening. I will end my presentation here. Thank you. Have a nice day.